Right, so morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to this conversation about this upcoming workshop,
So
Sense the
exciting.
Earth, Dance Our Feet. Welcome, Alina. Thank you for joining me, and we'll have a quick chat just to go over a few little details so people have a little bit more of an idea about what the workshop's about. Would you like to start? I thought maybe for people that aren't familiar with a Feldenkrais group class, what it looks like, maybe what they have to bring, what it looks like in terms of when they walk into a class, and maybe what they experience for the first time.
Okay. What it looks like, it's absolutely irrelevant. Because the main thing that we do in the class, it's different. So exactly the way it is different from any other group class you might have experienced in your life, is that what matters there is your sensory experience. And it will look really different from each person in the room. And, sometimes I put little clips of myself doing a lesson and put it on social media. But then I think, okay, it's nice. People are getting the idea about what it can be. But it's so, so different from each individual experience because the movement can be really small and slow. And sometimes you may think, oh, what am I even doing here? What's happening? Because nothing is happening really. It's really like nothing else. And the movement can be really, really small and we often would say insignificant, right? But what is significant there is the question how much of that movement you need to generate some new sensory experience for yourself. And because the big focus we put during the class is on comfort. So the movement should be comfortable. It should be easy. Sometimes we can challenge that, but very often we have to start somewhere really small, looking for comfort, which is unusual for many people because like generally speaking, as a culture, many cultures, that's not what we do. And we want to look for the quality, which means the movement feels nice. Uh, all the parts of yourself are participating in that movement, even if it's small. Every part of you knows, like your feet know what your head is doing and everything in between. So we're looking for coordination, we are looking for quality, which often means we're looking for this kind of flowing rather than, jumping style of movement. And we often will look for reversibility, which means at any given point, you should be able to change the direction and do something else. So there are a few things. I could go on for ages about what we do to get you there, but it's really creating the new sensory experience and paying attention to what happens and how small changes in the way you generate those sensations can bring some significant changes in the way that you move and in the quality of your movement. So it's really using moving for sensing and paying attention and seeing where we can create the change. And very often it's just the very first milliseconds of what you do.
Right. And so you were talking about comfort. We want to move in a comfortable way. In the event, we've got a list of things that people need to bring with them so that it creates comfort for them whilst they're doing their Feldenkrais session. So do you want to talk a little bit about that just briefly, just so people know sort of what they need to bring and maybe the whys around that?
Hmm. They will need a mat
Yep.
because we will be lying down on the floor. The why behind that is that we are putting ourselves in a different situation in gravity.
Yep.
And that makes enable people to track something new about the way they can create the movement. People will need to bring some warm layers because we are not going to sweat and at least not in that part, not in my part. And it can be already fresh. It's like, look at the weather, goodness me. It's like all of a sudden we're nearly in the winter mode, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll try to make the place as warm as possible for that part. But still, you might need layers to adjust to really make sure that you're comfortable again. Coming back to that. And maybe a few uh, simple props like, I don't know, a towel, a little blanket, something that you might want to spread over your mat, or something you might use to support your head, to support your lower back. Like, I mean, if there is anything you already know you use when you lay down on the floor to make yourself comfortable, doesn't need to be any big stuff really. Bring that. Otherwise, a few towels to make a roller for under your knees, to slide under your lower back, to support your head, something like that. I don't want usually pillows under the heads because the pillows are very squishy and it doesn't allow you to sense movement. But any other props that will make you feel comfortable on the floor, likely lying on your back, will be helpful. But I will bring some number of my blankets and props that people will be able to use if we need to. But yeah, and I will be looking after everyone, so that making sure and making suggestions if we need to create some extra layer of comfort.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's great to share that because maybe people, maybe from the description, don't understand that we're going to be on the floor. So that,
Yes, we will be. We will be on the floor, lying down on your back for the first session, and then we are going to be vertical and experience a different situation in gravity with Catherine.
That's right. So talking about comfort again for my session, again, layers, light layers, as we begin to move into our Nia session, that you can easily take on and off as you need. Obviously some water because we will be dancing and moving. And yeah, if you opt for the option, normally Nia's a barefoot practice, so we're in bare feet. If that's not comfortable, you need extra support, you're welcome to wear footwear, as long as they're a lightweight shoe, give you a little bit of support if you need it, or a grippy sock, so socks with a little bit of a grip. So you need to look after your feet and what you need for you for, again, comfort. We're always talking, this is a theme going between Feldenkrais and Nia. We're talking about comfort and pleasure and joy. So that's maybe something you need to consider for your feet. And yeah, just coming with an open mind and being prepared to play. So I've created a really cool and eclectic playlist for us to play with in the space as we become more vertical, as Alina said. And there's a sequence or a selection of movements that Nia has developed for dancing our feet specifically. So they'll be woven through the Nia experience, and it's a little bit different from a standard class, and that will have a longer sort of lead-in warm-up to get moving, as we've spent quite a long time on the floor. Maybe sort of 10 to almost 15 minutes as we slowly get into the upright and moving section, a little bit more vigorous, and then we'll take a little bit longer and we're going to return to the floor again, another maybe 10 minutes to make our way back to the floor. Again, gathering props, what we need for comfort in that last 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'll hand you back to Alina to wrap up our session with a little, end note with the Feldenkrais practice. So I'm really excited. This is really unique. This is the first time that Alina and I have worked together on a special project like this. We have quite a few dances booked already, so there's no requirement to have any dance experience or Feldenkrais experience, just
No, not at all.
a willingness to explore your body, your relationship with the earth, and the relationship with your feet, and coming up through your upright spine, and prepared to play and explore in this space and maybe create some new awareness of sensation when we're moving really in these beautiful small movements with Alina. And it's so nourishing. I have done group classes with Alina before, and I come up off the floor and I feel like a new human being, with a total new sense of awareness about my entire body. Even if I've only been working on my shoulders or whatever it is that we've been moving, my whole body has now had a new sense of information and awareness in that sensation, which is so beautiful, and really nourishing for me personally. So, which is what I want to invite you to come and explore and experience with us. And yeah, so if you've got any questions, you're welcome to reach out to either of us in advance. And yeah, bring your adventurous spirit and your open mind and come and play with us and explore sensation, and your sense of the earth and your own body. So yeah, welcome, and we look forward to seeing you then. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Alina? A little.
Oh, I just want to reinforce that I really love that you use the word nourishing because that's how that movement feels to me, and that's what I want people to discover. So there are ways of moving to make you feel nourished, and it's because we are working with the nervous system there. It's not about exercise. And linking to that, I also like to emphasize what you said about explorations, being open and experience something that probably you have never had experience, you have never have experienced in your life. So yeah, just being open to some new things, new experiences, and being willing to learn something new, really.
Yeah, awesome.